Hey folks, rinimt here, and welcome to the Unmaking Extreme. Post-commentated because this fight is fun. Yeah, that's the word for it. So yes, Enuo Extreme. I am doing this on Dancer. I am being fake melee. I actually only learned this fight on melee. Anyway, to start off, there's gonna be shocking news. Auto raid wide. Wow. Wow. So after that raid wide goes off, he is going to put either 1 or 2 orbs on either one or both healers, and these are wild charge stacks, but the tank needs to be closest to the orb, or tanks if it's the full party stat. After this, either light party or full party stat goes off, he's going to do an AoE and then Meltdown. Meltdown is a pyretic, so you kind of want to stack under him, wait, and then move once the pyretic is off. At this point, it's either going to be light party or pair stacks, and then that is followed up by the healer stack wild charge again. So tanks closest to the orbs. For the Meltdown pyretic, you want to spread out into clock spots, and these are reassigned typically by your roll. Anyways, at this point, Gaze of the Void is going to go out, and it's the same thing from normal. Goes in a circle, but this time you want to go into a clock spot. This is based on rolls, so melee together, healer together, etc. And you need to take a orb together. If you take a solo, you're yeeted across this arena, out, dead, you're gone. Goodbye. And you need to take a yellow one and then a purple one. And this is very emerald weapon sort of thing. Anyway, once that's all resolved, vacuum will go off. Just make sure you're opposite wherever the short is, or ready to really quickly adjust. At this point, the opposite of what happened before will happen. So here it was pair stacks because we had the healer earlier. If we had a pair earlier, it would have been healer here. Next up is the Tank Buster Deep Freeze, but this time in Extreme, it has a freeze on it, so you need to keep moving. And that Tank Buster is followed up by a raid wide. At this point, we are just damaging him until we head on into ad phase. Yay, ad phase!
Naught will endure. Neither past nor future.
So for ad phase, the easiest way to do this is kind of just head to your cardinal, your inner card, and then once the blue circle goes up, just hit your knockback immune. This is the only knockback immune thing in the fight. The main ad will appear, and then towers will go out. It'll either be support towers or DPS towers. The opposite will get markers on the head that will be shooting out codes. So this time it was support towers first, so DPS. I like to position between 2 markers that's not going to go into a tower. You are just in your light party spreads here, so light party 2 will always be east of, like, say, A and C. Light party 1 will always be west of that. So just kind of do that. Once the support towers are down, we will go into DPS towers. It is just the same thing. Just stick in your tower. You may have to move a bit because it may be in a weird spot. The support ones, there is a buster that goes out on the tanks. The DPS ones do a gaze, just look away from it. I like to look out, just look away from the ad. I drop AoEs on it, and being Dancer, I'm being slow to kill because I'm a Dancer! I'm the support! I'm a support DPS. Anyways, at this point, we are just DPSing down the main guy. The beacon in the dark is going to appear at this point. Once the main guy is dead, just keep on going. Save the 2 minutes if you can, because you don't need it here, unless you absolutely need it here. And then once the Beacon of the Dark is down, you will head back into the arena and into phase 2, where he's gonna do multiple AoEs to start off this phase, do a couple GCDs, and then hit those 2 minutes. And, well, welcome to phase 2. This is the real hard part of Enuo Extreme.
The void shall never cease to be. My power is absolute.
So now, much like in normal, after the add phase, Naught grows is going to do multiple targeting things. So now you need to position in accordance to both markers along with those healer stacks or stack. So just be ready to move. I just look for my healer. This is followed up by Naught Wakes, which is going to move the vacuums around the arena. I have not properly read these things. I just listen for callouts from Discord to figure out if it's in, out, what cardinal, what marker. Anyway, after this Naught grows, the healer stacks go out, so just light party stacks. At this point, it is another Naught grows, healer stacks, wild charge, tank closest to the orb. In this part, with the awkwardness, the tanks do need to kind of scooch out. There is a moment between the AoEs going out and the orb happening, so tanks want to make sure that they are the furthest out to take that wild charge. That Naught grows is followed by a Dimension 0 multi-hit line stack. After a few moments there, we are going back into vacuum. The thing with this vacuum is, this vacuum has a meltdown attached to it right afterwards. So pop that sprint, be ready to go to your clock spot, and just get the heck out of there to avoid the puddles in the middle, to not clip someone with your puddle. And, well, time for Gaze of the Void again. This Gaze of the Void, same thing as the first time. Look for that first orb. That first orb is where the tanks start. The melee, what I do is I look for that tank when I just go opposite. And then it's a mess to figure out who goes where from there. Yeah, it's a mess, especially if not everyone knows. It's hard to see sometimes. Things go awkward, and it's a mess, regardless of what it is. Anyways, grade 1. Kind of the best thing to do for the melee position is kind of look from where the tanks are, look for the second yellow from there, and just, yeah, anyways, so we are heading into Naught Hunts. This has similarities to normal, except there is a Naught Wakes happening from the edges, and it's going to pass off to another player, so you need to see if it's going to pass to you. Most groups I see do clockwise for the passing. Just run along the edge in a clockwise motion, don't clip others. Naught Hunts is probably the hardest mechanic of this extreme. Anyways, there's the stuff from the side. It's either be inner cards or cards, just to make sure you stay spot. And then there's also either a healer stack or a pair stack. After that, followed by another Naught Hunts. This is going to hit the 4 players who did not get the first round. So pretty much for this, if you're the first person, wait for the outside to happen and then get going and start running around the edge. If you're the second person, get ahead of them and keep running ahead of them. That's for clockwise. I think clockwise, counterclockwise, you just go behind. Clockwise, just do it. Anyways, that's followed up by another one of the either cards or inner cards, and then it'll be the opposite of what was before, so healer or pairs, followed by another multi-hit line stack. At this point in the fight, we are just in repeating mechanics. There's going to be AoEs, there's going to be deep freezes, and the hard stuff's done. You are just DPSing down Enuo before he hits that enraged. Oh yes, he was kind enough to show us what happens if you need to do it out. You have to go really, really out to do this healer stat. Right, yeah, that did happen. Yeah, at this point we are just DPSing down the Enuo, so enjoy. So that was Enuo, the Unmaking Extreme. Kind of messy still, but it's fine. We got there. His enrage is actually pretty generous. And, well, that's the second extreme for Dawntrail clear here. Woohoo! Thank you for watching, though. If you enjoyed the video, consider tossing a like, comment, subscribe. Maybe click the bell for notifications. Also, be sure to check out the description below of various links, social media, Discord. Come hang out, get notifications there too. And until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!